All right. So we are back. We have some questions that people asked us. If you have any questions, DM us anywhere, any way you can, and maybe we'll answer
Yeah, let's do it. Let's dive in.
them. Dive in.
Okay, so question for you, Adam Mockett. Why did you decide to start a business?
Oh, I always wanted to start a business. I knew that. There's basically two people in my life that were not paycheck to paycheck. One was my uncle, and the other one was
Uncle
his
Kenny?
Uncle Kenny, and the other one was your parents.
Yes.
Everybody else seemed to have just normal jobs, but they seemed to have the lifestyle, the freedom, the control, and love what they did. And then they were the ones that also were making more money, had nice cars and things like that, nice homes by the beach. And so I was like, oh, I gotta start a business. And I actually did start going to school for business, even though I was really bad at school. I went and
Sorry.
I got through because of you. You
I
basically
helped.
did, yeah, a lot. But I was really bad at school, but I was like, I got to do this. And so I was going through it. But really quickly, I just found that I was kind of learning business from broke teachers that never really ran a successful business. And so I ended up, um, actually starting our business when I was going to school for business. But I was also trying to become a band manager, which isn't necessarily a business. I guess it could become one, but managing the band and but wasn't making any money doing that. So when I started this business, I knew that I was gonna,
Our business.
our business, because I knew it was a good thing that I could do where I didn't feel like I needed to get like a degree
I don't
to
think
go.
you
I don't know.
could be employable. I don't know if you could be. I'm not sure.
Why?
I'm not
I
sure.
would be such a good employee.
Well, you can't really. If you were employed by somebody,
Uh-huh.
you would need a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
I don't really feel like you could sit in one spot. I mean, I guess there are jobs that you could do where you're like, you need variety, and you gotta be like,
My chair has to spin.
you gotta be moving like different environments. You don't like to be tied down. You really don't like to be told what to do. So I feel like you
You
would
sure
need.
this sounds like more like with a wife more than a job?
You know, it's interesting though. Like you like variety, but not when it comes to your women.
That's true. That's true. One
Thankfully, because
woman kind of got it.
that's the only way this could really work.
Yes.
At least for me,
I think for most.
for most. But yeah, you've always kind of been like one track minded when it came to women. Thankfully, that one was me.
You know.
But like, you definitely need variety. Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think my family's just very loyal. Like, not many people got divorced. I mean, they would eventually, and like when they really needed to. Um, but like my parents got divorced, but my dad got addicted to drugs, and so he was just in and out. Eventually, my
But your
mom,
mom wanted.
yeah,
She
she's just like,
tried
dude, if you leave one
everything.
more time, we're out of here. I can't keep doing this to the kids. So we knew, and like literally, she told us.
Yeah.
And so, but even still, my dad was like always trying to get her back, even when she was like basically remarried.
Oh.
Yeah. So, I don't know, must be in the blood, in genes, but I guess if I have enough variety everywhere else in my life, but then also like I'm a very loyal, committed, and also just like
Yeah, you're a loyal friend. You have
yes,
great good
but I have a
friendships.
variety of friends too.
You
I
have a
don't
lot.
have
You have,
just I don't only
that's
like
true. You don't have like one group.
yeah,
You like to have a lot of groups of friends.
yeah, yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. Why do you think?
Why do I about you?
Yes, and then
Um,
we'll move on to you because we know that's really what we want to get to people.
no, that's not true. I think you're right. I think that maybe I'm just so good at keeping you guessing.
Okay.
I'm good at keeping the variety alive. I don't know. I feel like not really that I'm like I don't feel like I really portray different personalities, but I think I do in some ways in our relationship still make you like work for it a little bit
Yeah,
maybe.
definitely.
So maybe like
Too much.
maybe like there's still some, I don't know. I think in any relationship there needs to be still some level of like both people need to stay curious, and I think too family is really important to you, and like we've built a family together, and
Yeah.
so it just it works well to like work together in building our family. And yeah, I think maybe like what you said, if you have variety in all the other ways, like, and you feel like free to be who you are and do what you want in terms of like career and business, then like you want to be a good dad and you want to be a good husband, you want to like be there for your family, and that's like,
That's more important than variety to me.
yeah, like the values.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What about you? Starting from the beginning.
I would say though too, I think that that loyalty could play into being a good employee if you ever wanted to, if you were ever going to be an employee. Like you do want to do a good job and you
Yeah.
do want to please people that you respect. So I think if you worked for somebody that you really respected and that you felt like gave you a lot of freedom, if that person gave you a lot of freedom,
Yeah, and well, if they gave me a lot of freedom and a lot of money, then
then maybe it would work.
yeah, but there's
Doesn't
really
usually happen that way.
doesn't happen
So you
that way.
kind of have to have your own
Yeah, if you
business.
make a lot of money, you have no freedom usually. Usually, I don't know. Maybe you're on here and you have that situation, but in my experience, it's very, very rare to have
Yeah,
that.
yeah. And so you basically wanted to start a business because you wanted freedom or autonomy, and you wanted to make a lot of money.
Yeah,
Why did you want to make a lot of money? Because like,
for the freedom.
oh, okay. But like like you weren't raised with money,
Yeah,
and you've always said that like you were happy and you were poor,
yeah,
and you've always even said like I don't need a lot of money.
yeah.
So
Yeah, I just don't really like necessarily fancy things. I mean, I like eating out. Like, and that's expensive to eat out, and but we haven't really been doing that as much either. But definitely,
well, you do like nice technological things.
yeah, I got a lot of stuff. These are expensive. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that what was the question again?
Like you said you wanted to make a lot of money, but you
Oh yeah,
also said that you don't feel like money's that important to you and that you were really happy when you were poor. So,
yeah.
like why did you want to make a lot of money?
Just I didn't want to be stressed out about money
Yeah.
anymore. That's the biggest thing. Like always, like constantly running out of gas,
Yeah.
constantly like
That's poor.
yeah, overdraft charges, and just wanting to be able to do stuff, like go do stuff, like go to a concert or
Yeah, you're also
whatever.
very generous. You want to be able to give to others.
Yeah, I want to be able to give to people, absolutely. And so,
Like your
um,
grandma and your sisters.
sure. And it's just, it really is so like t time consuming, mentally consuming when you're stressed out about money.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I didn't like that. But I was still happy. You know, I'm still like gonna make the best of my situation.
Yeah. I think it's interesting when like people say like it's not about money, or I don't want to make it about the money. But when like you said, it's almost like you're thinking more about money when it's a struggle
Yeah.
than when you have a lot of it. When you have a lot of it, you're not worried about the charges, it's like more like when you don't have money, then it becomes about the money.
Yes.
Like once you
Absolutely.
have it, then it's
Yeah, I
like,
feel
oh,
like
I'm
you're like,
free to just like
yeah.
live.
I remember when I was like stopped thinking about money and I was like, oh, whoa, that's kind of weird to just like buy a coffee at Starbucks and like not think about
That's
it.
pretty bad.
Right? Just
Yeah.
like or whatever. Like just go to the grocery store. I like literally I mean, not looking at the prices, which I don't want to like you should do that. Be wise with your money. Look at coupons, get deals, all that stuff. But not like just so
Consume
nice to
you,
be like,
not have to.
man, I like yeah, it just was so long. I was just oh my gosh, I just can't wait till I don't have to worry about this anymore. You know.
Cool. So you wanted a business for freedom and money.
Freedom, money, and status.
Significance?
Significance,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think that's what money, I think, like when you say money, I think what you wanted was significance. And like, I think that's also why you like being generous. Like, not so much that like you're like, oh, I gave you this, but kind of like I'm significant in your life because I was able to give this to you or help you
Yeah,
with
and now
this.
you owe me one.
Yeah. I mean,
No,
no,
I
no,
would
no,
never do that.
no. Not your thing.
Not your style. But in
Well, it's
case.
interesting because John Maxwell talks about the different motivators in people. And, he talks about autonomy being a big one. Well, they're all big, but for different people. Like some people don't need autonomy. They don't need freedom. That's like not the that's not like something that's a motivator for them. But it is for you and it definitely is for me.
Yeah.
Significance or, recognition, money, but also like growth and progress is one for a lot of
Well, it's
people.
funny because you don't like spending money, even if, no
No.
matter how much we make.
I want to keep all the
You want to
money.
keep all the money.
I want to keep all the money.
You're still generous, but
Not as generous as you. Well, I feel like that's because I work harder than you. So then I'm like, I worked so hard for this. It's like harder to let it
yeah,
go.
your thing is like, dude,
They didn't earn it. Like they could they could work hard too. Like I always want things to be fair, which things aren't really fair. But I feel like, oh my gosh, I worked really hard for that. Like everybody else has the same opportunities too. Like everybody else could go make it happen and live their dream and like take the risk like me, like I did. And if they're not, then like that's on them.
Yeah, but yes and no.
I know, you're right. You're right.
You were given really good examples. You had business owner parents. You went to really, really, pretty much the best school you could possibly go to growing up, learning how to just learn how to grow, learn how to be
you're right.
disciplined. And then you're coming in with somebody else who's had a
Didn't have
terrible
those things.
upbringing,
Yeah.
no examples, didn't go to school, dropped out.
But you can also find incredible examples of people in that same scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I want to be generous. I would like to be more generous, actually. I also feel like I want people to earn it for their own sake. For their own sake. Because it's like you could give a man, a woman a fish, or you could teach them how to fish, and then they can feed themselves for a lifetime, and then they feel good about themselves.
Yeah.
So I definitely want to be generous, but I also want to empower people.
And there's a difference in most people, you're talking about the people that can do it. Like we are constantly meeting people that have all the gifts, all the talents.
Yes, that they could do it and like make up all these reasons why they can't.
Yeah.
But I wanted to start a business because I didn't want to be told what to do. I wanted to be in charge. I wanted
Boss
to
babe.
be in the driver's seat of my life. And I wanted to work really hard, but I just wanted to be able to control my time. I think freedom of time is the most important thing. Like there are some days where I'll work all morning, all through late night, 12, 14-hour days. And there's some days where I want to be able to just like go and
get a spa day.
Go to a spa day like tomorrow for your birthday.
Yeah. Going to Olive Garden.
Glen Ivy.
Same thing.
But yeah. Okay, next question.
Wait, did you fully answer it?
Yeah, I did. What is it like working with your spouse?
Ooh, nightmare. What? No.
I mean,
a dream. It's the best. It literally is the best. I feel like
the truth.
It is the best. I feel like most people don't understand this. This is the thing that people always like, wait, you work together? And how do you do that? But what's good about being in business with you is we are completely different in a lot of ways. We're similar in a lot of ways, but in business different.
Which I think most people when they get married are different.
Yeah.
Like you tend to be attracted to like different things, right?
True.
What are you attracted about? No, just joking.
Yeah, a lot of things. A lot of things. But being able to just have different gifts and different strengths is, it's always weird to me. I'm like, dude, you literally got married together, hopefully because you work well together.
Yeah.
So why not work together and build something together? And there's a lot of examples of that. People don't realize a lot of times, like in business, there might be like a face, but you'll not know that behind the scenes, the spouse is like doing a ton. Mm-hmm. And that happens all the time. Just one is more like likes to be on front of the camera or whatever.
Well, I think just to succeed at a really high level, it can't really just be you. It's got to be like a team of people. And if you're building a family and a life together, it makes sense that you and your spouse would be on the same team, you know? And it's not so much that it's like business as it's like life. It's like you work together in life. And for some people, that can mean going to separate jobs and you do your job and you do your job. But for us, I think to me, what really helped me was that I saw my parents work together. My parents met in chiropractic school, you know, went to chiropractic school together, then ended up working for separate doctors out of school, but then opening their own practice together. So they worked separately in the same industry, but then ended up coming together. And I saw the different phases and seasons in their life where, like, then my parents adopted 3 of my siblings. And all of a sudden, you know, my mom had 5 kids to take care of. And instead of treating patients, she was more on the home front, but also helped my dad with a lot of the business parts of his business.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah, and could like collaborate with him and exchange ideas and give him ideas. And he was like, oh, that's true. I didn't try that.
Definitely is true with us too. Like, because we've had 4 kids now, and you have to have a C-section every time. So when you're out of commission, even when I came back, you knew exactly how to help me.
Yeah.
And like knew exactly what was going on.
And same now, if I come to you and I'm like, hey, I had this appointment, this happened, then you could say, well, did you try this or did you say this? And I'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. Did you mention this person? Or you always like think of good ideas.
And then there's just no way that for sure, our business would not be what it is today if I was doing it by myself.
Same here.
And just different gifts. So your gifts, for sure. I feel like, let me think. You're like a pack horse, and I'm like a stallion, like a free horse, I'm a wild horse.
And I'm just like, just chugging along over here.
Doing the job, getting the work done. I'm like a unicorn, actually. I just kind of
my gosh.
soar.
Ridiculous.
But I bring the magic. That allows for, because like for you,
actually,
like,
you
have
don't
a hard
really
time.
exist.
Why? I am a
Unicorns
real.
don't really
No,
exist.
that's true. I am 1 in a million.
You're
No,
in
listen.
you're in the imagination, you're in the vision, but
That's
you're
true,
not
that's
really
true.
doing.
No. Because I think what happens, for example, in any business, that there's this person that has to like believe, like, no, this could happen. Like even though we have no
You're the
way
believer.
that we think we should be able to do this, we don't have any money. We are like,
It makes no logical sense that we would make it.
Yeah, most people don't make it in this specific business or whatever. But there's one person that's like, we can do it. But they need the pack horse that's like,
We'll actually do it.
let's go. Work, put it in. And so, but then like, you know, and then obviously there's just in any business, there is.
I actually love to work.
Yeah.
I love it. I love what we do. It doesn't feel like work. Like I want to do it.
Yeah.
But it's true that sometimes I think you have the vision and the belief and the mental toughness, and then I have good, strong work ethic and winning habits, and together we make a great team.
Yeah, and you need the eye doctor appointment, you just said, because you lack the vision.
I do actually need a real eye doctor's appointment. But what it's like to work with my spouse, I would say it's really fun. Like, I like that we get to dream together and you know, make have a vision and a dream for our life and our business, and then we get to go do it together. And I think it's looked different in different seasons of our life because of different needs with having young kids and having a family. But we navigated it pretty well. I think we let each other be who we are. I think we learned I learned pretty quickly, like, I'm not going to change you. I'm not going to make you somebody different. You're not going to be me. You're not going to do things the way I would do them. But like, if I let you be you and be free to just be who you are and like be the unicorn, then it works well.
I like it. I have a question. This is not a question from somebody. It's a question from me.
Oh.
But what would you think for somebody that wants to work with their spouse? How do you do that? Like, or like, not how, but like, what are some like good tips to, I don't know, succeed building something together?
Yeah, I think definitely dreaming together. I think it starts with like really talking about what's our vision for our life, you know, because it's not so much about building a business, it's about building a life, and the business is just part of that in making your life dream come true. Like, what do we want for our life together, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 30 years from now plus? What's like the legacy we want to live? And you do that separately, but I think doing that together is really cool too. Like having like an idea that hopefully what you want is in alignment, I think it starts there. And then I think allowing each other and yourself to find really the parts of the business that you love to do. Because I think usually you'll end up doing the things that you like are usually the things that you do well.
Yeah.
Like you like doing marketing and social media and, editing and talking to people. Like you like doing that because you're good at it. And I like doing appointments with people and helping them with, systems and, plans and financial plans and business plans. And,
but you're also really good with people.
Because I love people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like we find kind of our area that you're good at. Usually what you like to do, you're usually good at. Not always, but usually.
Well, and it's a lot of times what I see is people trying to force their spouse to do something that
you
they're
can't do
not
that.
good at, and then that's like...
Or what'll happen is they don't want to do a certain part of the business, so they're like, you have to do it.
Yeah,
like,
you make the phone calls.
Yeah, or like, you do this part that I don't want to do or I'm not good at, and like, you can't really do
the
that.
paperwork behind the scenes, and I'll get all the
So
credit.
what do you do? Yeah, what do you do in that situation?
Don't do that.
No,
Don't
hire
do
somebody
that.
else. Hire somebody else to do it. If you don't want to do it, do it yourself or hire somebody else to do it.
Yes.
Like the laundry. Or like, let's
hire
somebody to do the laundry.
We had a whole discussion on that. Our what's it called? Housekeeper
quit. Just walked out.
She's like, it's too much. It's too much. We got 4 kids.
It's a lot.
And it's a lot. And so,
like, who's gonna do
if
the
you know
laundry?
anybody, we are hiring. But yeah, we just were like, both of us are like, man, we can't do that.
Well, we can't temporarily.
We can't. Well, we wanted, our whole thing, we said this in the first episode, so we don't want to backtrack already a week later, that we're trying to like downgrade our life.
Not downgrade, upgrade, but downsize.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Upgrade, downsize by simplifying as much as we can in terms of
trying to spark joy. Dude, our house is like borderline a hoarder's house. It seems like. Not really, but yes.
It's just a lot of stuff.
Yeah, that's what hoarding is.
Oh, it's not. That's like borderline hoarder. Like that's really bad.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
It's not that bad.
I'm saying.
Oh my God.
No, it's just got a lot of stuff. Just a lot of stuff. A lot of people. A lot of stuff. And so I just love that idea of like eliminating.
But having somebody help you do that is not bad.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, but I would think working with your spouse is dreaming, finding what you're good at, doing it. Both people have to be willing to do things that they don't like to do, though. Like you have to be willing to do things you don't like to do in life.
Yeah.
And I think it's best if you're both willing to do it. Like okay, great. I might not be passionate about doing the dishes, but like the dishes have to get done. So let's do that.
Yeah.
I might not be passionate about, we had to go to the grocery store at like 9:00 last night. It's like, I don't want to do that, but like, it's got to get done. So like, just do it, I think both people have to be willing to just do whatever it takes. Kind of have that mentality of like, this is our life and I'm part of the team and I'm your partner. And like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the life job done, and then I think it's really important to learn and grow together with your spouse. So whether that's like attending different conferences or leadership retreats or, events, places,
podcasts.
Listen to things together, read things together. Even if you're both listening, like maybe you have different drives to work. Maybe you don't have a business together, but you drive somewhere. You can both listen to the same podcast and then talk about it later. But I think learning and growing together, especially I've noticed like I don't like attending events or retreats without you because it feels like I just had this like amazing experience and then you weren't there sharing it with me and it's kind of sad. And you really want to grow together. And then ultimately I think really just having fun together is really important too. Not taking it too seriously. I think that's something that we've been good at doing where things will be hard. We'll have, we've gone through financial challenges and losing loved ones and like real grief. Like we'll go through stress in business and life, but we like still have fun.
Yeah.
We could still like put that aside for like a night and be like, whatever, let's go and just blast music with the windows down and go see a fun concert, you know, or ride our bikes and go see the Beach Life Festival or something like that, you know, or like we're good at just at like being like, well, you know what? I'm just gonna, this is hard, but I'm still alive and I'm still gonna
suppress it,
enjoy
not
life
think about it, and I'm gonna wait till therapy
and then process it.
process it. I have yet to go to therapy.
I would love for you to go to therapy, actually.
This is my therapy. I'm a therapist.
No, you really gotta go. You told me you would book it.
I'll go. But
When?
hey, I'm not putting it on blast when people know my schedule. I don't even know.
Okay, want to do the next question?
Sure.
When did you feel ready to start having kids? Did you wait until you had reached a certain level in business or of business success before having children?
Absolutely
Not.
not.
We did not wait until we were successful to have kids.
How old were we?
26.
26. I feel like people do not get married at 20 or have kids at 26 these days. Seems like, I mean, they do. Some people do. But
I think it's definitely much like at this day and age, people are waiting longer. They're waiting till they're older, in their 30s, I think, to have their first baby. Yeah. Why do you think that is?
well, to answer, I think probably that person asked that question because they're going through that. It's just crazy because I don't know. I just feel like people think that they have to be at a certain level before they can have kids, be able to afford them before they have kids. When in reality, for us, we didn't wait. And I felt like it was a good, once you have kids, you're like, oh, now I really have to like make money.
Yeah.
Like you don't really have to make that much money if it's just you and your spouse. You're like, whatever.
I mean, if you're internally motivated and driven, like you'll do it no matter what.
Sure.
But a lot of people have to have like a reason why they have to do it now
Yeah.
to like push.
And it's just nice to be, I don't know, feel like young and raising your kids and have energy. I already feel like my fourth child, I'm not throwing her around nearly as much as I did with Olive, which I want to. And I was just thinking about, how about this? I was just thinking about this last night, how like this probably, Moxie is our last one. And she was like, she ran it last night. She ran in the house, or when I came home, she ran in. She's like, Daddy! And like dove on me and like, I'm like wrestling around. You saw that, right?
My favorite.
And I was thinking about how I need to like really, really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Because she's our last one. And already like Olive doesn't do that. Sadie occasionally will do that. Meta a little bit. But really it's like, you get to a certain age where they're not running up to hug you, and it's the best feeling ever.
the
And so I just want to like really take it in.
I want to go home right now and have her do that right now. Yeah. We definitely weren't ready to have kids. But I don't think you're ever like ready. I mean, maybe some people are, but I definitely
I'm still
feel-
not ready.
I know, right? Like the process just forces you to get ready. And I think that is what helped us succeed. Is we had this reason where we're like, okay, it's not about me anymore. Like we got to make this happen because now we're in charge of this other little life.
Yeah.
And we kept increasing our family, even though we weren't like ready necessarily.
Yeah.
Because we just wanted a lot of kids and we wanted a big family. And I would never do it differently. I mean, there were times where we were really struggling financially in the beginning, having 2 little kids, a toddler and a newborn, a big office lease, and we were like, oh my gosh, like we have to make this happen. And it was scary, but I would literally never change it. I would never go back and say like, I see people now where they're like, okay, I'm well established, I have a bunch of money saved, I'm like in a good place. Like now, my business is rocking and rolling. And I think like that's great. I think that's great. And you could probably avoid a lot of stress and hardship, but man, that's what made us who we are today.
Yeah.
And I just would never, how could you? I mean, like our kids are the best part of our life. Like I can't imagine them not being here so that might have like a couple $100,000 more in like net worth. Who cares? Like I don't know, or like maybe I would have had less stress. Like, dude, what's life without a little stress? It's kind of fun, actually. I mean,
Look it up
like
here.
a little bit.
Life is down here.
What do you like right here? Yeah, like
Not quite there because then it's a little too
like
much.
Ed Milet talks about the roller coaster life. Like, you chose the roller coaster
I
life,
like
and it's
roller
true. Like, I
coasters.
like the roller coaster. I've never been a carousel fan.
No.
Like, same view over and over and over, super slow. Like, I like a little bit of like the pressure. That's kind of yeah. No. So, a bunch of kids definitely puts you on a roller coaster.
Sometimes you're upside down.
Definitely puts the pressure on, and I love it.
Yeah, it's the best. So, if
So have
to answer your
kids.
question,
Do
just have
it.
your kids.
Just do
If you
it.
want to have kids, don't have to have kids if you don't want to have kids. But if you do want to have kids, don't wait.
And if you don't want to have kids, just why not?
Well, no, here's the thing. Let me
I
say,
know not everybody should. If you don't want to, don't do it.
yeah, it's hard to relate
not?
because you really like them. But
It's true.
I will
I
say
really like them.
that, which is good.
I don't think anyone really regrets it. I mean, I hope not. Maybe some people
I'm sure they do.
Kids,
I'm
yeah.
sure they do. And I forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry.
You can edit it though. That's the beauty of this thing. Let me
Yeah,
think about it
sorry
for a
about that.
second.
I really messed you up. You were like, here's the thing. You were really ready.
It's really good.
Profound.
It's super good too.
Oh,
Give me a second. Roller coaster. And it's gone. Anyways, move on.
dang it.
It just happens to me all the time.
Okay, but we were saying like, oh, so if you want to have kids and you're nervous about it being the right time, just know you're never ready.
I remember it.
Or I have one more thing.
Okay, I'm gonna forget it.
If you're wanting to have kids and it's not happening and just feels like it's taking forever, I'm so sorry. It's like really, really hard.
Yes.
That's one of the hardest things. It's like, well, yeah, I'd like to have kids and I can't. But never give up hope. We have many friends who have waited a long time for their babies and years, decades. And now that they're here, they're like, oh, like I wouldn't trade this for a second, you know? And like, I just,
Perfect baby.
yeah. And they didn't all happen in the way that they thought it would, you know, some through adoption, some through foster, then adoption, some through thinking like doing in vitro and then getting pregnant and then having two babies at the same time, you know, but like never give up hope.
Yes. And what I remembered was your kids don't really care if you have money. Like, remember she said I was poor and happy? Like, my mom had 5 kids. My mom and dad had 5 kids. And she was a cashier at a grocery store. My dad was in and out. And so definitely didn't have a lot of money. But I remember like wanting to buy stuff and like kind of being jealous that some kid gets like a Nintendo and I didn't. But my friend had a Nintendo and I went over and played it.
Yeah.
You know, and we just like played together, ran outside and played on the streets. Like, that's what kids should do anyways. They don't need to have like all these fancy electronics and name brand and Sephora. It's like ridiculous.
Yeah.
They just need love and that's it.
And stability.
Yeah.
Love
Put a
and
roof under their,
stability.
you know.
And so go for it. There's never a perfect time, but you'll get ready. You just will. If you're a good person that cares about your kids, you'll do whatever it takes for them.
Yeah.
And it's the best blessing that we've ever had. So
Yeah, and if you're a bad person, then don't have kids.
then don't have kids. Don't procreate.
You know what I mean?
Well, I would say working together with your spouse in whatever capacity in life is the best decision. And in business, I think it works really well.
Yeah.
And if you continue to, let each other be free to be who you are, find the parts about the business that you love to do, whatever business it is, do it. Be willing to do the things you don't love, to temporarily, so that maybe then you can hire staff to do the things that can maybe do those things better than you, and continue to learn and grow together, and then have fun all along the way.
I like it.
Love you.
Love you too. Here's our clap at the end too. Till next time.